Well, thank you, Mark. Well, we might as well just go ahead. We've got Dr. Austin Weiser of the Pan-Atlantic University. He joins us this morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Well, you know, it looks as if we focus too much on politics in this country. Yeah. Even we, the media, are guilty sometimes. We forget the real issues.
Yeah, you're guilty.
These are issues that need to be tackled. Look at what's happening in different parts of the country about flood, all connected to infrastructure. Now, the economics of this, very tricky. How do we begin to navigate and find our way and get ourselves out of this mess?
Well, one is that there's too much politics in the air. Everything is politicized. And government is a continuum. You know, like they say in the military parlance or police parlance, they say, army come, army go, barrack still remains the same. The same with, government. So what should be done is to look at this. Less politics, more governance. That the people, the nation, in fact, I keep saying that the people that run this nation don't love this nation. They don't
love the country?
They don't love Nigeria at all. Because if they do, they wouldn't be toying with people's lives. Since 13th century, it's been proven the economics of infrastructure, especially road infrastructure, is very critical in economic development of any nation. Now, the quality of roads being done is the poorest, about the poorest, in the world, and the most expensive in the world. Now, when Chris Ngige was the governor of Anambra State, the contract is signed to tar the roads they did to his village and neighboring the environment. They had to sign the 25-year contract, which is what is done in the US and other developed nations. 25 years guarantee. If not, you'll be blacklisted. The law will catch up with you. But what is the quality, what is the guarantee given by the contractors? Now, he mentioned, Dr. Joshua mentioned one fundamental thing about using domestic entrepreneur engineers.
What about the capacity? Now,
we have quality surveyors, all these groups, they are not given opportunity. Even when you give them opportunity, the Nigerian factor comes in.
What's the Nigerian factor?
Well, like they always said that you give them a job, first of all, they go and marry another wife and all that.
Is it corruption?
Corruption and stuff like that. Now, if we have sincerity, of purpose.
So corruption is the major problem then?
It's a problem. Corruption is a problem. Because now, the laws guiding project management or project planning is that one of the laws is that projects are not always completed on time at the specified budget. Okay? But again, you need to think through critical thinking, strategically also, so that you know exactly, give or take, 1 year, 2 years, gap, you plan towards it, knowing that it might not be, or within budget. And that's, again, it leads us to the budgeting process that we have in this country.
Pardon me, before you go to that budgeting process, but I thought that we also tried to address that challenge of processes. I think it was Dr. Obi Ezekwesili at that time where she introduced this due process. I also know that now they talk about the procurement process, how long it should take, the procedures. All of those measures are meant to ensure that there's some sort of transparency. Are we achieving anything with those?
No, you see, because one is that when institutions are weak, you don't get such things. Now, the individuals there, they're not committed. The process itself within these institutions, because these are the things that make it up in any institution.
Is it the individuals or we need to adjust the process a little bit?
No, you see, because one is that the institution, the people that make up institution, at the process, the system, the structure, and then the people and technology.
Is the process too long that we need to cut it short?
No, yeah, even if the process is too long, this is knowledge economy 21st century. You don't need a longer process. All you need to do is, short, knowing that, whatever you can bypass and to make sure to get things done. Okay? If the process is too long, you cut it short.
If we look at the Lagos-Kano rail that's on the table now to continue to build on, do you see a progression, say in the next 2 years before 2019, before this administration comes to a will end,
Yeah.
or maybe in the next 6 years, if it still remains in power. Do you
No.
see this completing to the end, for instance?
It depends on the contractual agreement with the Chinese. I believe it's the Chinese handling it. And one thing we forget, or we don't take into consideration when dealing with the Chinese, we don't even know the Chinese. We don't know the characteristics of these people. We don't know how they operate. Okay? I have been studying the Chinese, for a long time.
What did
And you need
find?
to understand
What did
the
you
way
find
they
studying
operate.
them?
That when they come to you, they give you money, give you access. Okay? But you don't own the projects.
No,
They're
is it
bringing
with-
their people.
Is it with us only? Because I think the system that they put in place, I think in Kenya, between Kenya and Tanzania.
Anywhere the Chinese operate.
But there was a little difference in that one because
It
those
depends.
countries insisted that their
that's-
nationals
Yeah.
must participate.
That
in
is
this
why
project.
I say it depends on the contractual agreement. The Chinese, there are very many. They're looking for ways. And some of these workers you see here, they're prisoners who were brought in to serve their terms. The term in this country. They're prisoners. with skills.
You check that out.
Go to the wharf. Midnight, like when they come, they open the gate. The immigration is not. Go and check it out. Corruption.
You mean the immigration allows them to pass
Of
without
course,
any
as
papers?
long as, of course. So they come with their people. To deal with the Chinese, you have to understand and develop a strategy. In Malaysia, many years ago, when Shell wanted to operate there, the Malaysian government gave them 10 years to build local capacity or get out. At a conference in Geneva, the Shell global CEO was testifying to the fact that in less than 10 years, they were able to build local capacity and even using those people as expatriate staff in Nigeria. Now, one of the Nigerian participants at that conference, a player also in the oil and gas, asked him, Mr. Shell, why were you able to do that in Malaysia, but you couldn't do that in Nigeria? The man laughed, smiled at him and said, well, go ask your government. So government is a problem to itself. The major problem we have in this country